Hey, what is up guys, DRC3 here, back with another My Hero Ultra Impact video, and today we are showcasing the brand new free-to-play all-for-one. He is level 80 and his board is completely done all the way up to board 9. However, his piece route is not done because you cannot earn his pieces from the star shop. You have to go and actually earn them from the climax battle event, which is going to require some grinding and quite a few days to complete. So this is a level 80 max board 9 showcase. All of his advanced leveling is not done. We're taking him into a mock battle against my normal defense team, and we're going to see how he does. This is basically the team I normally run in PvP, except for obviously All For One is going to be weaker than the Aizawa he is replacing because my Aizawa is level 100. So we're going to see if this All For One can stand up to Aizawa's spot and take his spot on this team. Alright, so right there we removed some of Bakugo's buffs, which is really nice. All For One is going to be the king of like destroying the fantasy Bakugo, hopefully. That's the goal here. And kind of just stopping him from doing anything. However, he still hit 21,000 damage there because Bakugo gives himself like 6 or 7 buffs or some ridiculous amount of buffs like that he gets, whereas we can only remove 2 with our action skill. But right here with our plus ultra, let's take a look at Bakugo's buffs here. You can see 1 turn, 1 turn, 1 turn, 3 turn, 2 turn, 3 turn, just a ton of buffs for crit rate, defense, things like that. We're going to get rid of those buffs and we're going to see how much damage All For One does. And like, all right, I just really want to see him remove all the buffs and destroy Bakugo. That would actually be sick. All right, so we had him attack Aizawa. Okay, come on, All For One, let's see what you got. Sick plus ultra for a free-to-play character. 18,000 damage, not bad. It could have been a bit more with the crit. Now he has no buffs and he did like no damage to Najire because he had no buffs on him. And just to show you guys that he is out of buffs, you can see he has a couple. He has ecstatic still and crit rate up, which he just gave himself, but that's about it compared to the whole bunch that he had. So we did remove most of his buffs, which is really nice. Like this All For One, if he ever hits level 100, he is going to be a very viable, like potentially meta pick who could take the spot of a yellow Aizawa if you don't have that yellow Aizawa, because basically they're very, very similar. Yellow Aizawa removes buffs, whereas All For One also removes buffs. So we're going to remove some of Aizawa's buffs right here. Hopefully kill him, actually. Oh yeah, All For One's going to kill him. 23,000 damage. This is level 80. This is level 80 and he is hitting 23,000 damage without a crit in PvP. That is actually insane for a free-to-play character. He is like really, really good. Compared to the yellow All Might, who's the only other free-to-play UR character we have, this All For One is actually really good and very viable. I think he is going to be better in PvP than he is in PvE. Of course, we're going to do a PvE showcase here next, but so far in PvP, he is actually doing great. I would like to see him potentially like remove the barriers on the Kirishimas too. I think he could remove barriers and remove coverage. He definitely could if you get his plus ultra skill. All right, let's see. We have a barrier, so we're good from the Todoroki. New Todoroki also insane for PvP. Ooh, he's doing so much damage only for level 80. Okay, so now we should be able to get rid of Kirishima's buffs, but he has so many buffs. He has coverage, he has counter, he has defense up, and it does 2 buffs randomly. So I'm not sure which one it'll do. Yeah, he has normal attack down, action skill damage down, HP regeneration, coverage, counter, skill impact up. So we can only get rid of 2 of those, but that's still that 2 that we're getting rid of, which will be really nice. So let's get rid of those buffs. Hopefully it's the coverage. It does not look like we got rid of the coverage or the counter. Okay. So we probably got rid of his normal attack thing, but it doesn't matter. Okay, well, geez, this team is actually going really well for having a level 80 character on it. All For One is definitely doing work. Actually, he is so insane. I think, yeah, we're gonna save this. So next turn we're gonna have All For One kill Deku. And this skill right there is pretty good because it does HP regeneration and increases your teammates' skill impact and stuff like that. It only works though if you have a memory on All For One, so I'm running Adventurer Weights on him that gives him speed, power, and stuff like that. You are going to need probably Adventurer Weights is the best memory for All For One. And I'll kind of show you guys why when I do the PvE showcase. All right, so Deku does have his persistence now. I wanted to make sure he had it. Now we're going to attack him with the Plus Ultra. Unfortunately, we did lose Najire, but that is okay. And we should be able to just kill Deku just like Aizawa does. So here we go. Beautiful, 54,000 damage from a level 80 character. And he is free to play. Actually insane. I'm so sorry if you are not able to beat double S difficulty, but oh my gosh. Here's what you have to look forward to once you eventually grind out the medals and stuff like that. Don't give up on him. Make sure you're doing your daily grinds for the time the climax battle is out, and hopefully you guys can earn him. If you don't think you can earn him in one season, you might be right, but go check out my other video. I did give you guys a little bit of information that'll help you out. The climax battle breakdown video can help you out a lot. All right, let's head over to PvE. All right, so this is the PvE team I am going to be running with All For One. I'm running an all villains team on PvE because he boosts villains. I am running Adventurer Weights again for his second action skill, which I'll show you guys in a second, just to show you that the ability board is actually ability board 9. There you go. I did get both UR orbs for that, which is why I waited to do this showcase. We also do have his first skill unlocked on the Peace board, but like I said, it'll take a while to get the rest of the Peace board done. We don't have all of his advanced leveling done yet, but that is fine. I wanted to do a showcase on him and I didn't want to wait, so this is what you guys are getting. All For One is actually just such a sick character. Let's go over his skills really quickly. His plus ultra move is Fierce Piercing Claws. You guys just saw it in the PvP showcase. It cancels all temporary buffs of a single opponent, which is really good, and deals 600% damage to the opponent. Also decreases the opponent's defense by 20% for 3 turns. Now, the canceling buffs isn't as good in PvE, but the decrease in the opponent's defense is really good, which is what we're going to be looking for in this showcase. Action skill is Black Claws. It cancels 2 temporary buffs of a single opponent. Once again, it's okay, and deals 325% damage to the opponent. His other action skill is Hybrid Quirks. Regenerates characters' HP by 10% for 3 turns if max HP is increased. Increases characters' plus ultra gauge by 30% when speed is increased. Also increases action skill impact of all allies by 15% for 3 turns when character's power is increased, which is why we're running Adventurer Weights. This is like the only action skill I know of that actually like fully relies on a memory to work. So keep that in mind if you are trying to run this free to play All For One. You do need to run a memory that is going to work with his action skill called Hybrid Quirks. Otherwise, it might be kind of difficult. Or you need to run a character who can boost that stuff, if not a memory. So keep that in mind when you are using this free to play All For One. And then his first auto skill is All of This Is For You. Decreases power of all opponent pro characters by 20%. We are not going against a pro hero, so we won't get to see that though. And then reduces action skill cooldown time of all allies, excluding character, by 1 every 2 turns, up to 3 times. That's really good. I wish it did it for him too though, because as you'll see in this PvE showcase, he has kind of a weird action skill cooldown. And then Ruler of Evil increases skill impact of all ally villains by 20%, which is pretty good. And we actually got some decent EX auto skills, which increase crit hit impact and max HP and stuff like that. So I just figured I'd show you guys that as well. All right, so that is the team we're going to be running. We are going against the blue Deku. Let's go ahead and hop in. All right, and he boosted his skill impact there, so we can actually get rid of that skill impact boost with the cancellation of 2 temporary buffs, and then we're going to also decrease his power. So I'm thinking we could just make him really weak. So increase his character skill impact by 50% for 5 turns. That is a temporary buff. He can only remove temporary buffs, so he can't remove the permanent buffs on VE Tower bosses, which is kind of like a downfall, but that's all right. He also doesn't have a ton of like status ailments or crit or anything like that, so it makes him a little less ideal for PvE than he would be for PvP. And then also, like right here, he has a cooldown time of 6. It does a lot of cool stuff. It heals, it gives you plus ultra gauge. You'll see him heal himself right now. And he also gives skill impact to allies, which is really good. Giving skill impact to allies is really good. Unfortunately, it is a 6-turn cooldown, and he doesn't give himself a shorter cooldown when he does his plus ultra. He only gives a shorter cooldown to his allies. Or not plus ultra, from his auto skill. All right, and there we go. He lost quite a bit of health there too. He is also fairly squishy, but now you can see Deku has all of these buffs right here. 3 turn, or not all these buffs, he has 1 buff, skill impact up. The rest of them are debuffs. But we can remove the skill impact up for 2 turns with All For One. Now the thing is, I went through the VE towers and I kind of looked around at the different bosses, and while removing buffs is really cool and really good, there's just not very many instances where it's going to be like a super useful ability unless they come out with a VE tower with a boss that just stacks like infinite temporary buffs. But the defense reduction is really good, as you saw right there. Dobby hit for 60,000 because of the defense reduction from All For One. So that defense reduction is really good. It'd be really good in the new VE tower stage, the defense stage where you're trying to reduce defense. That makes them viable for that if you're looking for a defense down person. Typically people run purple Jiro or purple Bakugo. Well, now you have the red All For One who reduces defense, and we got a 79,000 crit with Shigaraki thanks to All For One. Unfortunately, All For One is dead, but that was literally all because of his defense decrease, which is really, really nice. However, the big, like, weird thing about All For One, like I was saying, is his second action skill just kind of sucks in PvE because it takes 6 turns to get that action skill back, and that is unfortunate and very hard to use for a, you know, 6-turn clear if you're doing VE tower, anywhere between 3 and 6 depending on the VE tower. Gosh, this Deku just won't die. I forgot that he has this, okay, we should win. We should win right here. Okay, so we're good. Oh, we lost All For One, but you know what? You got to see what he did. Unfortunately, I just have to say I don't think he's as good in PvE, so you're not missing out like huge if you didn't get him for PvE. However, if you are lucky enough to get him and you clear the SS difficulty and you get him for PvP, All For One is a very, very good character. If you guys enjoyed the video, please go down there, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and thank you guys for watching. Peace.